Today in this video, I am going to discuss about the mean or average value of alternating current or voltage. Already I have discussed in the previous video about the equation for the alternating current here, how the alternating current is represented. And mathematically the alternating current is represented by I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Our alternating voltage is represented by V is equal to V naught sine omega t here. And also I have given the definition, some important definition which is frequently used in the alternating current like amplitude, frequency, time period. So all these things already I have discussed in the previous video here. Now here mean or average value of alternating current or voltage. You know, during one complete cycle, for first half cycle, the current flows in one direction. And alternating current flows in one direction, and for next half cycle it flows in other direction here. So when you will calculate the mean or average value of alternating current for one complete cycle, so it will comes 0. Already I have told you, for one complete cycle, for half cycle the alternating current flows in one direction, and for next half cycle it flows in other direction. So the average value for one complete cycle is 0. Due to this reason, the mean or average value of alternating current is not calculated over the complete cycle. But when we consider the mean or average value of alternating current over half cycle, then it will give the finite value, means it will give the sum value. And mathematically when it is calculated, then mean or average value of alternating current, this will comes nearly. So when we calculate the mean or average value of alternating current over half cycle, this one is what here calculated over half cycle, and its value will comes here, Im is equal to 0.637 I naught. Mathematically you can calculate it here. Now it means the mean or average value of alternating current over half cycle is 0.637 times of its peak value. Or simply you can say mean or average value of alternating current is 63.7% of its peak value. So this one is what here, 0.637 times of peak value for one half cycle, and for next half cycle it will comes minus 0.637 I naught. So for one complete cycle it will become 0. But mean or average value is calculated over half cycle will come to 0.637 I naught. And similarly, the mean or average voltage will also comes here 0.637 V naught. It means the mean or average voltage of alternating current is 0.637 times of its peak voltage. So in this way we can find out the mean or average value of alternating current. Now mean or average value of alternating current is actually calculated for half cycle, then it will give its finite value. But root mean square value of an alternating current is calculated over complete cycle, because when we will take the square of the negative value, then again we will get what value here, positive value. So how can we calculate the root mean square value of the alternating current? Root mean square value means, suppose I is instantaneous alternating current, this one is mean current, this one is mean square current, and now this one is what here, root mean square current. It means simply you can say the root mean square value of an alternating current is defined as the square root of mean of square of alternating current over one complete cycle. So simply you can say root mean square current is also represented by IRMS, root mean square current. This will be equal to, actually this one is what here, root mean square current, and after calculation you will get this one is equal to I naught by root 2. Simply you can say here the root mean square value of alternating current is I naught. What is I naught? Peak value of the alternating current upon root 2. And similarly, we can calculate VRMS, root mean square voltage. This will be also comes how much here? V naught by root 2. So IRMS, I naught by root 2. VRMS becomes V naught by root 2. And when you will put the value of root 2 1.414 and divide I naught by 1.414, then you will get here 0.707 I naught. And similarly, V naught by root 2 will come 0.707 V naught. It means root mean square value of alternating current is 0.707 time of its peak current, or 70.7% of its peak current. And similarly, the root mean square value of alternating voltage is 0.707 time of its peak voltage, or 70.7% of its peak voltage. So this formula is very important. Please all of you learn it. The root mean square value IRMS is I naught by root 2 and VRMS is equal to also V naught by root 2. You know, in your house the coming voltage is suppose 220 volt. Actually this 220 volt is its RMS value. And when you will calculate, it means VRMS 220 volt of that voltage or that supply which is coming in your house. So that one is what here? RMS voltage which is coming in your house. So when you will calculate the peak voltage, so you can say peak voltage is root 2 times of the RMS voltage. So when you will calculate the VRMS here, so you will get here 220 root 2. And when you will solve it, then nearly it will come 311 volt. This will come here. So peak voltage becomes 220 into root 2, it will come 311 volt. It means in one complete cycle, the current becomes 311 volt also when it will reach at its peak value. Due to this reason, 220 volt of AC and 220 volt of DC. If anybody asks to you which one is more dangerous, so out of these two AC and DC of same voltage, 220 volt of AC is more dangerous than 220 volt of DC. Why? Because in DC, no variation. Frequencies remain same there. But here, in the case of alternating current, actually this 220 volt will also come 311 volt when it will be reached at its peak value. Actually the root mean square value is also called I virtual or IRMS. Means this one will be also called what here? I virtual, and this I virtual means IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2. Similarly, alternating voltage is also given V virtual is equal to V RMS is equal to V naught by root 2. So these two formula is very important to solve the numerical problems. Now next topic is phasor and phasor diagram. So in phasor and phasor diagram, there are two terms, phasor and phasor diagram. So a diagram representing alternating current or alternating voltage of same frequency as vector, then that one is called phasor. And when this one will be represented with the some phase angle between them, so that one is called the phasor diagram. So simply you can say here, when alternating current or alternating voltage of same frequency is representing as a vector, then that one is called phasor. And when some phase angle between them, then that one is called what here? Phasor diagram. And now we will use the phasor diagram especially for the different types of the AC circuit. Now we discuss about the different types of the AC circuit. Now first, when circuit containing resistance only. Suppose an alternating voltage, and alternating voltage is represented by V is equal to V naught sin omega t, and the symbol for alternating voltage or current, this one is this sign called like this. So this represent, or this symbol represent alternating. So alternating voltage V is equal to V naught sin omega t, we applied across a pure resistor. If I am saying ये प्योर रजिस्टर, अगर मैं प्योर रजिस्टर कर रहा हूँ तो इसका मतलब इसके लिए इसमें कोई इंडक्टेंस नहीं है, इसके इंडक्टिव रिएक्टेंस इज व्हाट हियर 0 एंड व्हेन यू विल टेक द प्योर इंडक्टर तो उसके लिए रेजिस्टेंस 0 होगा. तो हियर लेट an alternating voltage V is equal to V naught sin omega t be applied across a pure resistor R. And at any instant, suppose I is the current in it, where I is the instantaneous current flows in this circuit due to this alternating voltage. And by Ohm's law, you know, V is equal to I into R. And when we apply the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Then from here you can say at place of V, you will write V naught sin omega t. So here V naught sin omega t is equal to I into R. Simply by using the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. And what I am saying here, when alternating voltage V is equal to V naught sin omega t be applied across this pure resistor R, let at any instant the current flows in this circuit is I, then by Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, and now at place of V, you will write V naught sin omega t. So V naught sin omega t is equal to what here? IR. So from here you can say I is equal to V naught sin omega t upon R. In this way you can see I is equal to V naught sin omega t upon R. And remember this, the maximum value of sin omega t, sin की maximum value कितनी होगी 1. So when you will consider the sin omega t is equal to 1, or when you will consider the maximum value of sin omega t, means sin omega t is equal to 1, so at that time the current becomes maximum. And you know the maximum current is denoted by I naught. So remember this, when sin omega t is equal to 1, then I becomes I naught. Means at that time this current, instantaneous current, becomes maximum. And at that time you can say I naught is equal to V naught by R. It means I naught is equal to V naught by R. So simply you can say I is equal to V naught by R sin omega t. When sin omega t is equal to 1, then current becomes maximum. It means that maximum current is represented by I naught. So I naught is equal to V naught by R. And now when you will use this concept, at place of V naught by R, you can write what here? I naught. So from here you can say I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Now you see, suppose this one is equation number 2 and this one alternating voltage is equation number 1. It means when you will apply alternating voltage V is equal to V naught sin omega t across a pure resistor, then the current flows in it is what here? I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Remember this, V is instantaneous voltage, I is instantaneous current, V naught peak voltage, I naught peak current. This one is sin omega t function, this one is also sin omega t. It means in this case, there is no phase difference. No phase difference here. Actually, here sin omega t, here sin omega t. If anybody asks you what is the argument of sin here, so here argument of sin omega t. Here argument of sin also omega t. And when you will take the difference of argument of sin between V and I, then you will get the phase difference between V and I. वोल्टेज और करंट में कितना फेज डिफरेंस है, ये चीज पाने के लिए आप वोल्टेज का जो साइन दिया उसका आर्गुमेंट निकालिए, करंट के लिए जो साइन है उसका आर्गुमेंट निकालिए और दोनों का डिफरेंस ले लीजिए, आपको मिल जाएगा उनके बीच में फेज डिफरेंस कितना है. लेकिन यहाँ पे इसका भी आर्गुमेंट ओमेगा टी, इसका भी आर्गुमेंट ओमेगा टी, तो दोनों के बीच में फेज डिफरेंस 0 है. इसका मतलब कि when circuit contains pure resistor, then in that case alternating voltage and alternating current both moves in same phase. दोनों क्या करती हैं? सेम फेज में रहती है. सेम फेज में रहने का क्या मतलब हुआ कि जिस टाइम पे वोल्टेज 0 होगा उस टाइम पे करंट भी 0 होगा, और जिस टाइम पे वोल्टेज मैक्सिमम होगा उस टाइम पे करंट क्या होगी? मैक्सिमम होगा. अगर वेरिएशन इस तरह से हो रही है, इसका मतलब वोल्टेज और करंट दोनों क्या है? सेम फेज में है. So comparing this equation 1 and this equation 2 means alternating voltage and what alternating current is flowing in it. So comparing equation 1 and 2 shows that in a pure resistor the current I is always in same phase with the applied voltage. Same phase का मतलब दोनों के बीच में phase difference क्या है? Zero है. And when you will draw a graph of voltage and current versus time, suppose we will draw a graph, this one, and along this suppose V and I together, alternating voltage, alternating current you are taking, and here I am taking a time t. So this graph is what here, this one is for, suppose this continuous curve I am taking, this continuous sine curve I am taking for the alternating voltage. So this one for V. And you know this voltage is what voltage? Peak voltage which is divided by V naught. And since voltage and current in pure resistor are in same phase, and you know this one is one cycle is complete here. So here time is equal to one time period. Next one cycle is complete here, so this time is 2t. And in this way, you can draw the graph for alternating voltage, the sine curve. And since alternating current is also in the same phase with the voltage, so when you will draw the graph for current, this dotted line I have taken for alternating current. This for current I. And this current is called what current here? I naught peak current. And now you see here, already I have told you, पहले बताया ये continuous sine curve जो लिया हूं मैं ये voltage के लिए, और ये dotted curve लिया हूं ये किसके लिए है? Alternating current के लिए, both is sine curve. And now you see, at this time, voltage and current both is zero. After time t by 2, yeah, first you see, at this time t by 4, देखो यहाँ पे टाइम है 0, यहाँ टाइम है t by 4, यहाँ टाइम है t by 2, यहाँ टाइम है 3t by 4, और यहाँ टाइम है 4t by 4 मीन्स t. तो एक टाइम पीरियड यहाँ कंप्लीट हो गया. अब देखिए यहाँ पे वोल्टेज मीन्स इस टाइम 0 पे वोल्टेज और करंट दोनों 0 है. इस टाइम पे क्या टाइम है? हाँ, t by 4. इस टाइम t by 4 पे मतलब एक टाइम पीरियड का एक चौथाई टाइम पे वोल्टेज भी मैक्सिमम हो गई है और इसमें करंट भी मैक्सिमम हो गया है, मतलब दोनों मैक्सिमम है. फिर यहां टाइम t by 2 पे यहां पे वोल्टेज भी 0 हो गया, करंट भी 0 हो गया. यहां टाइम 3t by 4 पे 3t by 4 पे वोल्टेज भी मैक्सिमम है, करंट भी मैक्सिमम है अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में. और इस टाइम t पे फिर करंट भी 0 हो गया और वोल्टेज भी 0 हो गया. कहने का मतलब कि अगर अल्टरनेटिंग करंट और अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज दोनों सेम फेज में हैं, तो जिस टाइम पे करंट 0 होगी उस टाइम पे वोल्टेज भी 0 होगा, और जिस टाइम पे करंट मैक्सिमम होगी उस टाइम पे वोल्टेज क्या होगा? मैक्सिमम होगा. तो अगर सर्किट में प्योर रजिस्टर लगा हुआ है तो उस केस में अल्टरनेटिंग करंट और अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज दोनों हमेशा सेम फेज में रहती है. अब याद रखिए, जब भी हम यहां बनाए ऐसे ग्राफ, जब भी ग्राफ बनाए तो एक बनाएंगे कॉन्टिन्यूअस कर्व, ये हमेशा हम वोल्टेज के लिए रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, और एक डॉटेड वाला जो बनाएंगे वो हमेशा किसके लिए करेंगे? करंट के लिए करेंगे. और दूसरी चीज, ये पूरा एक साइकिल यहां से चला और एक साइकिल यहां कंप्लीट हो गया. यहां से यहां तक के लिए टाइम हो गया t. अब यहां से यहां तक को 4 पार्ट में बांटिए. यहां क्या होगा? टाइम t by 4, यहां टाइम 2t by 4, यहां टाइम 3t by 4, और यहां टाइम 4t by 4. ये होता है 4 पार्ट का जो. ये टाइम t by 4. टाइम 2t by 4 को हम लोग कहते हैं 2 2 जा 4, किसको कहते हैं? t by 2. ये टाइम हो गया 3t by 4, और यहां कहते हैं 4t by 4, तो 4 से 4 कैंसिल करके हम क्या कहते हैं? इसको कहते हैं t. तो इस तरह से डिफरेंट टाइम पे वेरिएशन ऑफ अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज या अल्टरनेटिंग करंट आप शो कर सकते हैं. तो दिस वाज a graphical representation of voltage and current with time t. Now next one, which one is important in this one is what here? How can we draw the phasor diagram And when you will draw the phasor diagram for that circuit in which the voltage and current are in same phase, means when circuit contains pure resistor, तो phasor diagram में इसमें क्या है, हमने बताया था कि अगर अल्टरनेटिंग करंट और अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज को वेक्टर की तरह हम ट्रीट करें, वेक्टर की तरफ लेंगे तो कहेंगे फेजर, और सम फेज एंगल बिटवीन देम लेंगे तो सिखाएंगे फेजर डायग्राम। तो यहाँ पे फेजर डायग्राम में क्या बनाएंगे, क्योंकि यहाँ अल्टरनेटिंग करंट और अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज दोनों सेम फेज में है, मतलब दोनों के बीच में फेज एंगल कितना है, 0। तो अगर ये बना दिया हम किसके लिए, मान लो ये हो गया अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज पी के लिए, तो ये हो गया करंट किसके लिए, ये आई। यही इनके बीच में फेजर डायग्राम हो गया। आपकी किताब में भी दिया है, दूसरी तरफ से उसमें ओमेगा टी फेज एंगल लेकर के दिखाया है। आप सिंपली ऐसे भी ड्रा कर सकते हैं, दिस वन इज व्हाट हियर फॉर अल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज, दिस वन इज व्हाट हियर अल्टरनेटिंग करंट, and both are in same direction, so both are what here, same direction, is angle between them is what here, 0. So you can say alternating voltage and alternating current both are in what phase, same phase here, huh? And actually the magnitude of voltage is always greater than the current, इसलिए हम इसके लाइन को थोड़ा सा क्या लिए हैं, लंबा लिए हैं, बड़ा लिए हैं इसमें। But this represents the phasor diagram between the alternating voltage and alternating current for that circuit when the circuit contains pure resistor. Now there are the two important points regarding this topic here. What here? In pure resistive AC circuit, मतलब AC circuit जिसमें pure resistance लगा हो, उसमें frequency of voltage and current are same. So if the circuit contains pure resistive or pure resistor, so there the frequency of voltage and current are always same. Second point is what here? Already I have given. In this case, the peak current I naught is equal to V naught by R. It means in that circuit, the peak current does not depends on frequency. यहाँ पे ओमेगा का टर्म नहीं है, ओमेगा का टर्म रहेगा क्योंकि हमने बताया था ओमेगा इज इक्वल टू 2 पाई एफ, तो आप यहाँ लिख सकते हैं ओमेगा फ्रीक्वेंसी। तो simply you can say the peak current does not depends upon frequency. So when you will draw the graph between peak current and frequency omega, then it becomes a straight line. But peak current is inversely proportional to the resistance. So when you will draw a graph between the peak current and resistance, then the graph becomes like this one. So in this way also you can find out the nature of the graph between the peak current versus frequency as well as the peak current versus resistance R. So dear student, today we will go through this one here. Some more point is also given in your book. Please all of you go through that point also here. And in the next video, I will give you the next two other circuit and what these two other circuit, when circuit contains pure inductor and when the circuit contains pure capacitor. And if you have the clear concept of this one, circuit contain pure resistor, pure resistance, pure inductor, pure capacitor, then you can find or you can derive or you can take any other circuit in the combination like LR circuit, CR circuit, LCR circuit, LC circuit. There are the different types of the circuit. But always all these three are all the combination of the circuit is depends on these concept of this individual circuit here. So please first all of you try to make a clear concept of this individual circuit first what I am telling. Thank you.